Samoa Joe shocks the world. Joins Hurt Syndicate to destroy Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. All war. Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling just changed forever. Samoa Joe has made his move, and it's a game changer. If you thought AEW was wild before, just wait until you see what happens next. Smash that subscribe button and hit the bell because you do not want to miss what's coming. The wrestling world is still reeling from the seismic shift that just rocked AEW. Samoa Joe, one of the most dominant forces in the business, has aligned himself with the ruthless Hurt Syndicate and their target, none other than Jon Moxley and his Death Riders. This isn't just a feud, this is war. But how did we get here? And what does this mean for the future of AEW? Buckle up, because we're breaking it all down. For months, Jon Moxley and his Death Riders have ruled AEW with an iron fist, crushing anyone who stood in their way. But every empire has its downfall, and the Hurt Syndicate has been waiting for the perfect weapon to bring Moxley's reign to an end. Enter Samoa Joe. A monster among men. A destroyer of worlds. And now, the Syndicate's ultimate enforcer. The moment that changed everything happened on AEW Dynamite. Moxley and his crew were standing tall after dismantling another team, laughing in the face of the competition until the lights went out. When they flickered back on, Samoa Joe stood in the ring, but not alone. The Hurt Syndicate surrounded the Death Riders, and in a heartbeat, chaos erupted. Joe locked Moxley in the Coquina Clutch as the Syndicate laid waste to his allies. The message was clear. This is no longer Moxley's kingdom. The crowd was in shock. The wrestling world was in shock. And just like that, the balance of power shifted. Why did Joe join the Hurt Syndicate? Simple, strategy. Joe has always been a tactician, and he knows that to take down a force like Moxley, you need allies just as vicious as you are. The Syndicate offers him protection, numbers, and most importantly, leverage. Meanwhile, Moxley is now facing his greatest threat yet. The Death Riders are tough, but can they survive an all-out assault from Joe and the Syndicate? And what about the rest of AEW? With this new alliance, titles could change hands, careers could be ended, and the landscape of wrestling could be rewritten. This is more than a feud, it's a revolution. Samoa Joe and the Hurt Syndicate have declared war, and Jon Moxley's empire is crumbling. The question is, who survives the fallout? If you're not subscribed, you're missing history in the making. Hit that button, turn on notifications, and get ready, because AEW will never be the same again. See you in the comments. Who's walking out on top? Let us know.